Hi, I'm Pete Cowan and I'm here today with my colleague Jo Murgatroyd to talk to you about the lettings market and the buy-to-let opportunities for investors and landlords. We're going to be sharing with you some of our top tips on being a landlord and investor and some of those opportunities within the buy-to-let environment.
So Pete, is now a good time to be a landlord?
Great question, Jo, and the answer to that is yes. We've seen over the last 6 months, the first part of 2015, a 6% increase in tenants registering with us for their next home. That's nearly 4,500 people. We've seen the average length of tenancy maintain itself at well above 20 months. That means tenants are staying longer, giving landlords that security of tenure. And we've seen the time on market, those properties being on market, decrease significantly, with properties letting within days, if not a couple of weeks, and very few on longer than 28 days. That's all great news for landlords, very reassuring. The property market, it is reduced. There's less property for tenants to look at, therefore more people are looking at each individual property, often bringing landlords a host of applications for them to look through, allowing them to choose the right tenant for them. Rents have increased slightly. They ended the year last year on 3.4% for our region. That's continued to increase slightly because of this supply-demand situation. So I think now's a really good time to be a landlord, actually.
Excellent. And what would your top tips be for would-be landlords?
I think you've got to research your market. You've got to understand what you're getting into. So make sure that you look at the sale price, the rental return, the yield, get in touch with some good local agents that can offer you some advice on where to look, and do plenty of online and offline research. Second is to understand the tenant's need, what that demand is. So critically winning the beauty contest, making sure that your property presents better than any other. That gets quick viewings and quick applications to a successful let. Make sure you've got your landlord head on. And by that, I mean make sure you understand the obligations put on landlords, the roles and responsibilities, and be prepared for any of those reactive problems that may come along. And finally, ensure that you've got good independent mortgage advice. So Jo, what's going on in the mortgage world? We hear a lot about historical low interest rates and some great opportunities for buy-to-let investors. What's your take on all of this?
Yeah, you're right, Pete. Now's a very interesting time for both the property market and the mortgage market. Mortgage rates are low, with lots of lenders advertising historically low interest rates. And with criteria changing constantly, mortgages are becoming more accessible for people in general, not only residential, but also for buy-to-let. And it's a great time to see how this can affect you.
Fantastic.
For landlords in particular, there are definitely favourable conditions out there for both new landlords and existing landlords looking to increase their portfolio or remortgage their existing portfolio on to lower rates. The buy-to-let market is increasing and more lenders are changing their criteria, and we're seeing an increased appetite to lend more. And more lenders are getting involved within the buy-to-let market.
Wow, great news. And what would your top tips be for would-be buy-to-let investors?
Well, with so much going on, getting independent advice would be my first tip. Come and see someone that has access to the whole of the market, because some lenders limit the cumulative loan amount, number of properties, and other limits on criteria. And with access to over 500 products over the whole of the buy-to-let mortgage market, we can help you find a product that will suit you. Come prepared. At an appointment, make sure you bring your pay slips, your bank statements, and for existing landlords, information on your current property portfolio. When the mortgage valuation takes place, unlike a residential property, they will take into account the lettable condition of the property and its potential income. And it's a lot different from a normal residential mortgage valuation. So, when you're looking around for a potential investment property, remember your responsibilities as a landlord and the standard of accommodation you'll need to provide to ensure it's a desirable let.
That's that beauty contest we were talking about.
Exactly. So, but to reiterate what you said earlier, research is the key. Look into the local area, your neighbourhood, as well as the price and the rental yield. And ultimately, if you do decide to buy a flat or an apartment for investment, take into account the service charge and the potential maintenance charges.
Fantastic, great advice. Okay, well, for more information on anything we've talked about today, please call into your local branch, give us a call or visit us online.